Hello, I'm Assistant Commonwealth's Attorney Dan Laren. I'm here once again with the case of the week. You know, here in Fayette County, we try 15 or 20 homicide cases every year. And today we're going to talk about one of those cases. The prosecutor in this case was Andrea Williams, and we're going to ask her about this particular murder trial. Hello, Andrea.
Hi, Dan.
What can you tell us about the Blancett homicide case?
William Blancett was charged back in January of 2011 with 3 counts of murder, 1 count of robbery, 1 count of tampering with physical evidence, and 2 counts of wanton endangerment.
So there was more than one victim in this case?
Yes, there were 3 victims inside of a house over off of Polo Club Boulevard in that area of town, in the Hamburg area.
And what were the basic facts about this case? Why did this murder happen here in Lexington?
William Blancett was friends with one of the victims, and one of the victims would go to Florida to buy pills and then bring them back here to Fayette County. And Mr. Blancett was a regular participant in going to Florida to purchase those pills and bring them back to Fayette County. He believed that he had been shorted pills and was angry about being shorted pills. So he went over to the victim's house on January 4th of 2011. And there were 3 adults in the house and 2 children. Mr. Blancett visited for a little while there at the house. And then he got ready to leave, and he ended up killing the 3 adults in the house while the 2 children slept on the couch.
So how did this case progress through the system as far as dealing with the defense attorneys and their emotions and so forth?
Well, we didn't really have a whole lot of emotions in the case, in this particular case, even though it was a very serious case, because it was pretty straightforward. The police, after they started gathering information and very quickly got information that Mr. Blancett had been at the house that day. Other people had been at the house and placed him there. The police went to speak with Mr. Blancett, and at that time started gathering more information, and he actually went out to his car and put something wrapped in a bandana into a vehicle outside of his house. The police investigated that and found that it was actually part of the gun. Mr. Blancett was taken down to police headquarters, gave a statement to the police about his involvement in the case. Police then went on to find where he had disposed of various clothing and other parts of the crime that he committed, and started to gather all the evidence in the case. And we, of course, turned over all of that information to the defense attorneys. We were set to go to trial earlier this year in June, but about a week before the trial was set to begin, Mr. Blancett decided to enter a guilty plea.
And what was the sentence that he pled to?
He pled to 3 counts of murder, and he received a punishment of life without the possibility of parole on each of those 3 counts of murder. He also pled to the maximum on the robbery first, which was 20 years, tampering with physical evidence. He took money and drugs from the house, and he pled to those charges, as well as pleading to wanton endangerment, because when he was shooting within the house, there were 2 small children on the couch in the house. So they were, although nothing hit them or struck them, they were endangered because they were near all of the gunfire. So he pled to all of the charges, and he was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole.
Well, all right. We hate that these things happen here in our community. A lot of people will say that drugs or pills or narcotics are a victimless crime, but in this case, it seems that they were the basis for a triple homicide here in Lexington. At least we know that this man will not be walking the streets of our community for the rest of his life. I'm Assistant Commonwealth's Attorney Dan Laren. This is Assistant Commonwealth's Attorney Andrea Williams. This has been the case of the week.